Hello and welcome everybody. For the longest time I have wanted to make a video that goes over everything that has to do with building the 5th DLC for Fallout 4, Vault-Tec Workshop, from how to light the entrance to the best Atrium designs. I know that it is a little bit early to ask, but if you end up finding the video informative, then please consider giving it a like. I wanted to start off with a reading of the official description. The official description for the DLC reads as follows. Build a brighter future underground with the all-new Vault-Tec Workshop. Create a massive vault and attract new dwellers using pre-war industrial kits complete with retro-nostalgic furniture, lighting, and art. And like every good overseer, run Vault-Tec approved experiments on your dwellers to learn what makes an ideal citizen. Vault-Tec has given you the tools, the rest is up to you. Vault-Tec Workshop is the 5th add-on and 3rd workshop add-on for Fallout 4. It triggers automatically once level 20 is reached and the player character is outside the Institute. It will also trigger upon traveling to Quincy Quarries, which is south of Jamaica Plain. Vault-Tec Workshop is my favorite out of all 3 workshop add-ons. Not only does it feature a new location to explore and build in, it features a questline with voiced characters and introduces a plethora of settlement building pieces. It is the largest settlement in terms of building space. Lastly, Vault-Tec Workshop includes a unique piece of apparel, the Legends of Vault 88, which is the only legendary vault suit in the entire game. Now, with that out of the way, let's move on to the rest of the guide. The first thing I want to go over is enemy spawn points. I want to read to you these excerpts from the Fallout Wikipedia. It is possible for super mutants and other enemies to attack the settlement. Due to the spacious interior, it can be difficult to track down the assailants. Since the enemies have AI that isn't normally meant for attacking an indoor settlement, they will often loiter or wander around aimlessly instead of actively attacking resources or settlers. If the wooden walls blocking the 2 back entrances are not scrapped, enemies will only spawn at the main entrance, eliminating the need to search the vault for enemies during an attack. I'm going to show you where those wooden walls are. There are 3 entrances, enemy spawn points to Vault 88. The main one, of course, is just right outside the vault door. The other ones can be found within the caverns of Vault 88. One, a sewer drain, leads near Milton General Hospital. The other, a pharmacy, leads to University Point. These wooden walls are important. If they are left alone, enemies will only spawn at the main entrance, eliminating the need to search the caverns for enemies during an attack. It is important to note that you can get attacked no matter what. It is my understanding that if the wooden walls are left alone and that the vault door is closed, there's no way for the enemies to get inside. The point of leaving these wooden walls alone is not to make it so that you never get attacked, rather so that the only place you can get attacked from is the front door. I find it strange that these wooden walls exist, as to me they defeat the purpose of building a vault. That is why I recommend leaving them alone. Let me show you where they are. As you can see, I'm in the main cavern. I'm gonna make our way down the north sector first. I went ahead and cleared out all of the enemies. Here is the first one. Please excuse the radiation poisoning. This one, it leads to the sewer drain. It can be found in the subway. Let me show you where that is on the map here. Very informative. There we go. I don't know if that helps you, but you can scrap it. It just creates another entrance to the Commonwealth. Let me show you where the other one is. We're in the northeast sector now. It's just up here. There's ghouls. It just leads to a pharmacy. You can build in it. Believe it or not, if you want to build in here but you don't want to create the spawn point, you can actually come around. There's a bunch of ghouls in here. Here it is on the map. Another entrance to the Commonwealth. Like I said, just leave them alone. The next thing I want to cover are the high-tech lights. I would recommend finding the high-tech lights picket fences magazine found at Hardware Town before you begin to light the vault. Hardware Town is just right outside of Diamond City. The magazine is found in an upstairs office just lying on a desk. The magazine allows you to build a series of high-tech lights at any settlement that fit the aesthetic well. With that out of the way, let me show you where to go. As you can see, I'm right outside of Diamond City. There's a miniature quest here. I'm just going to grab the magazine. Be warned, there's a bunch of raiders inside.
Excellent.
Here is the magazine. This is what they look like. They are a little bit dirty, a little bit worn out, but I just think they look incredible. They're actually used in the vault on the island in Far Harbor. I would recommend grabbing the magazine before you begin to light the vault. I want to introduce to you the Vault Power Conduit. The Vault Power Conduit can be snapped onto vault structures to transmit power from them. The best way to think of it is like Wi-Fi. If the vault structure you place the conduit on is connected to a generator, anything in its radius will be powered. It features a metal coil for anything that requires a direct connection, like the Vault-Tec power cycle. Let me show you how it works. So, I have created 2 rooms here. There's a generator in the entrance. Right there. So, in theory, if you place one of those conduits on the wall here, it just snaps on. It does not work in the entrance, sadly. Seeing that this room is connected to the hallway, which is connected to the generator, let's say I wanted to place a light bulb. Seeing that it's in radius of the conduit, it's going to power on. So I have another room over here. that is not attached to any generators. If I go ahead and place a light bulb, it's not going to work. But if I go ahead and connect one of the Vault-Tec generators, as long as it snaps in there, it should power on. Let me just... Let me replace the conduit. There we go. It does not have to be connected to the main structure. It just has to be connected through the scaffolding to a generator. It only works with the Vault-Tec prefab pieces, however. The entrance to Vault 88 is just a copy of Vault 81, just with adjustments made as necessary. You can look to Vault 81 if you need inspiration when it comes to decorating. Some of the objects found here leave debris that goes away once you scrap that said item. I just go over what to scrap. This is important to me as I want my vault to look as pre-war, as pristine as possible. If nothing else, I would leave the table covering the boxes of Pip-Boys, as it looks ugly otherwise. The crates cannot be moved. A tip is, you can see on the ground here that these floor mats are leaving a bunch of dirt. If you pick it up, it shows you what's attached to that said object. Let's get right into it. So you have to scrap both of these floor mats. If you like how they are placed, I would recommend scrapping one, finding a new one, and lining it up. You can get rid of both of those. There's a bunch of dirt around these crates. If you get rid of the blue one, that all goes away. Down here, there's a bunch of crates and lockers. Go ahead and get rid of the lockers, the toolbox, the mats, and the crate behind this blue thing. You can leave those. I would go ahead and get rid of the first floor mat and those lockers. I like this. Get rid of everything over here. You have to get rid of all of this. Get rid of these floor mats. Get rid of everything in this corner. Get rid of everything over here, including the lockers. There are some things that can't be scrapped, like the folders. You just have to pick them up. Get rid of this floor mat. Get rid of these. Get rid of all of this. Get rid of the floor mats in front of the consoles. I'd recommend leaving the consoles here. There's a bit of dirt, but even if you scrap them, that doesn't go away. You can see picking it up, it's still there. It's just stuck there forever. There is debris attached to each one of these floor mats. What I do usually is scrap one, find a new one, and line it up, because I like having the floor mats. You can get rid of everything except for the crate. In this room, you can essentially get rid of everything. You can keep this, there's no dirt attached to it. It looks at a place, so I usually end up getting rid of it. I get rid of the consoles here. you have to get rid of that cupboard because there's a bunch of dirt attached to it. I like to leave the desks here. I just decorate them afterwards. Like I'll clear off all of the junk. In here you can get rid of everything except for a few crates. Even if you get rid of this crate, that dirt does not go away. And lastly, the generator room. It's a generator room, so I'm fine with it looking a little bit messy. I usually get rid of everything except for the crates and the consoles. I get rid of the floor mats and chairs. I just replace them afterwards with cleaner ones. But that's essentially it when it comes to cleaning up the entrance. Lighting the entrance without mods can be a daunting task, especially considering the vault power conduits do not work here. I would say that lighting the entrance is one of the, if not the hardest and most tedious parts of building the vault. You heard me right, the vault power conduits do not work here. Bethesda really dropped the ball on this one. Some of the walls here don't even allow you to place things like posters, they just end up hovering in the air. Seeing that the vault power conduit does not work here, we end up heavily relying on the rug glitch. For those that don't know, the rug glitch essentially allows you to place settlement objects anywhere through the use of rugs. We end up using the rug glitch to place generators and power pylons in the wall. I do not like seeing the light fixtures on the roof. Thankfully, there is another glitch for that. You'll have to use the flat Vault-Tec fluorescent lights. Go ahead and place one on the roof, then go to pick it up, just like if you want to move it. That should push it into the roof. In most cases, you will be able to place it there, but still have it emit power. This is how I like to power light the vault. It looks just like the other vaults in the game. Lastly, I have discovered a glitch involving the power pylons. Even though that there is a wired power pylon in the area, some light fixtures, like the fluorescent ones we end up using, will act like there's nothing. They just won't turn on. The fix is to pretend to pick it up and then cancel out of that move, essentially making it like you never touched it at all. This will fix the issue. Please make sure that all of the lights you placed have power before glitching the generators and power pylons in the wall. We're gonna start with the vault door. I'm gonna show you how to successfully apply the rug glitch. I would recommend using the floor mats that come with Vault-Tec Workshop. You want to make sure each mat is stacked on top of each other. So I would recommend doing 6 or 7. You want to put the generator on the far side. If you're worried about the generators creating a lot of noise, just make the rugs larger. Go ahead and place a power pylon. Go ahead and wire that up. Then if you hold the first one, you can essentially, as long as you can place the very first floor mat, you can essentially place it in walls. Let me show you right here. Before I go ahead and stick it in the wall, I'm gonna leave a bit of it showing just in case the power pylon glitch occurs. The fluorescent lights are at the end of the lights category. I'm gonna place a large one, a small one. I'm gonna place some over here. You can see they're not turning on. It's because we ran into the power pylon glitch. Try not to place the lights in the track where the door goes. So the glitch, you just have to pick up the power pylon and cancel out of it. They should all light up. Then what you want to do is go select it. It pushes it in the roof. You can just place it there. We ran into the glitch again, so just go ahead, pick that up, put it down. You can see we have light, but you don't actually see the light fixtures. Now we can go ahead and place this in the wall. Get rid of the rugs. And there you go. We apply this technique all throughout the entrance and even some aspects of the atrium. Let me go ahead and finish the other side. You want to apply this technique all throughout the entrance. One thing to keep in mind is once you place it in the roof, it's next to impossible to move the light or get it out. So if you're worried about having a portion of the light showing, the actual light fixture, save constantly and be prepared to reload if necessary. You can apply the same thing up here in this room. If you're trying to light this room, when it comes to glitching them into the wall here, you want to do it this way, because if you do it this way, the pylon and or the generator will show up on the other side. Lighting the generator room is probably the hardest part of the entrance. I'm going to show you the contraption you need to make. Essentially, all we're doing is adding a bunch of wooden building blocks on top of the rug glitch. So that looks good. Go to the wooden structures. You want to build something like this. Go ahead and attach a generator down here. And attach the power pylons. Attach it to the generator. You want to stick this entire thing in the wall. It makes sure there's power pylons up there to power the very top of the roof. You might struggle to glitch it in the wall there. I'll just get rid of this one just so you can't see it. Get rid of that. There's now power pylons in the wall, so if you place a light up there, as long as the power pylon glitch doesn't occur, I shouldn't have pushed it in right away, you can light the top. If you're having troubles lighting the very center, just don't make the rug, don't add as many rugs, like add 3 to 4 instead of like 6 to 7, just to make the power pylons as close to the wall without showing as possible. And when you're doing them on this side, make sure not to make it too long, or else I believe they'll start to stick out on the other side. But yeah, hopefully that's informative. I've not seen another video covering a technique like this. I believe I am the first. How many years late? The Atrium. I have made videos covering 2 of them. One of the designs is the one I'm using in this video. It is a mix between design, what it looks like, and the available building space. If you're not a fan of this design, I'll have a link to my original design, the one I used for quite a few years since the DLC came out. I'll make a card and leave a link in the description. With that out of the way, let's start the design. The first thing you want to add is a domestic staircase. Followed by a domestic hallway to doorway. There is no point in building supports, it's purely cosmetic. I just like what it looks like. Once you finish building the vault, depending on your design, you're never going to see the outside of it again. You want to then head to the Atrium tab. You want to find what is known as the doorway top. Just a warning, be careful when placing the Atrium pieces. I don't know what causes the glitch, but if you go too fast, sometimes the pieces will slightly glitch into one another, making it so the entire thing is not symmetrical, it's off balance. That is especially apparent if you build a bridge across the center, which we do in this guide. It won't connect at the very end, so there'll be a small gap. Looks absolutely terrible. You want, when it comes to building the roof, you want an odd number of pieces across. So start with the wall top, including the corners. You want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hold on. I think the corner piece is included. So go ahead and attach the atrium ceilings. Count how many there is. There should be 7, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes. And 8, 9, including the atrium end pieces. I guess we could have put in the corners. I forgot for a moment. I did not know if they were attached to the atrium end pieces. You can then here in the middle, for me, if you're facing the staircase, I like to put the overseer's room on the right side. You don't need a lot of space for the overseer's room. There's not a lot of room over here. So that's why I put it on that side, to leave all of the space over there for whatever I want to build. You want to find the door mid and the overseer's window. Go ahead and place it like so. And then you want to match the atrium roofs on the other side. Atrium end piece. Make sure the ceilings are attached perfectly. Like I said, that glitch could occur where the objects bug out and go inside one another. On this side, you want to blank hallway middles. Don't worry about that orange connector. We're going to cover that up at the end. We're going to use the rug glitch. I'll get into that in a moment. Go ahead and fill in the corner tops. The wall tops. Make sure none of the pieces are glitched in. You can see it's... I don't know what causes that, but it wasn't connected perfectly. I want to make sure that's not happening on this side. It is too. You can see there's a gap there. I do not know what causes that. It's such a weird glitch. It does not seem to have affected the roof in this case. You want to catch that sooner rather than later, because if you don't, you'll have to build the entire thing over again. There we go. I'm just gonna double check over here. That side's fine. That side's fine. We're gonna go ahead and start filling in the floor. You want to find the wall bottoms. Go ahead and fill those in. Make sure everything is lined up properly. Feel free to slow down or pause the video if I'm going too fast. Oh. Too many. Go ahead and fill in the floor. You then want to find what is known as the hanging floors. When it comes to the corners, you want to use this one, the one with the two connectors. The other one is made for, I assume, pillars or walls in the middle. Why did I put a window there? Huh. Weird. Sorry about that. There you go. Place the stairs in the middle there. We're gonna have a bridge going across in the center. You want to remove the very center floor piece. Replace it with a column, atrium column. We can then build the bridge across. You want to make sure you use the bridge piece where the rails curl at the end. Connect it like so. If there's no gap anywhere in the bridge between the pieces, there's a good chance none of the atrium pieces overlapped, glitched into one another. Go ahead and finish with the railings. When it comes to the railings right by the staircases, there's two curved sets of rails. There's a short one and a long one. Make sure you're using the long ones, as if you use the short ones, you and settlers can just walk right off. There's two more things we have to do. Now, if you want to branch out and add a room, just replace the wall with a door or a window, whatever you want. The last thing we need to cover up is that. Now, if that doesn't bother you, as it's purely cosmetic, you do not have to take anything apart. But if you're like me, you want to cover that up, just follow what I do. You want to temporarily remove, I believe, just that. That should work. You want to place a column piece there in the middle, at least 2 to 3 of them. You want to remove at least 3 pieces of floor. And near the end of the atrium section, there's actually a trim. Now, the metal side looks amazing. This is the side we're trying to cover up, but when you put it there, it just flips around. So you just see the orange. But what you can do is line it up like that, then remove the pieces surrounding it. You do that just to make sure it's perfectly aligned, perfectly straight. And then You don't want to use more than 2 to 3 mats or else he'll be raised up too high. Just slowly move that on top. We're gonna align this with that orange trim. I forgot to make a staircase. I don't know why it's glitching out. Let me try that again. There we go. Line it up to the best of your ability. No, that's not good enough. I don't know why, but the mat is glitching through the floor there. We're gonna try that one more time. There we go. Line it up to the best of your ability. That looks good. Go ahead and fill in the things we took away. It's not perfect. It's a tiny bit too high, but it looks significantly better than with that orange thing. And that's it for the atrium design. The next thing I'm going to show you is how to light it. Up glitching the lights through the roof. The top of the atrium cannot be lit using the vault power conduits. Instead, we had to build a series of generators and power pylons up there to deliver power to the fluorescent lights. I went ahead and built everything. I did not want to include it in the video. I made a video a few months ago, a standalone, going over just how to light the atrium. Of course, it was a different design, but the idea, the process is exactly the same. I'll leave a card and a link to that in the description. You have you have to make a series of power pylons. You want to put the generator over there because you won't be able to hear it in the vault. This is what it looks like on the other side. And just like the entrance, you have to glitch the lights into the roof. So I went ahead and did that. I kept one blank for an example. You want to go ahead. 2 there. 1 in between here. And then go ahead and just tuck those in the roof. When it comes to the sides, you want to find this fluorescent ceiling light. You can tuck it in just like that. You can spam it. It makes it brighter, but it creates a bunch more on the other side. Same thing down here. You just want to glitch it in like that. You can spam it for a brighter light. This is what it looks like on the outside. You just have a bunch of lights. Once you finish the vault, though, you'll never see that. The rest of the atrium is exactly the same as the entrance. You can just tuck the lights in the roof. Let's just put one in there like that. For the rest of the atrium and all of the rooms you add, you can use the vault power conduits. Lastly, I wanted to mention you can actually tuck the small one here under the staircase to admit even more light. If you do it correctly, it will not show up on the other side. You might find that building here causes the settlement building size to fill up fast. Thankfully, there is a workaround. There is a glitch that allows for an unlimited settlement building size. The first thing you need to do is compile a bunch of weapons in your inventory. Knowing Bethesda games, I would avoid using anything important, like legendaries or weapons that are sentimental to you, as although unlikely, they could glitch through the map. What you want to do is drop all of them right in front of the workshop or workbench, store them using workshop mode, pick them up through the workbench, and repeat. This causes the settlement building size to decrease. I have 3 weapons in my inventory, so it's not going to go down an excessive amount, but to give you a visual demonstration, I'm going to store them. I'm going to pick them up and do that over and over and over again. It slowly goes down. The more weapons you drop, the faster it will go down. You can see it slowly going down. It is a common misconception that you cannot connect the atrium to the east sector. The path down there, as you can see, it's too narrow, it's too steep. Deep in the east sector, there is a Vault-Tec water pump. Behind it, there's a wall that you can scrap connecting the northeast to the east sector. Let me show you what I mean. It allows you to build down here. Right here, there's a limestone wall. You can scrap it, connecting the 2 sectors. You can build a staircase up here, over and around to the east sector. You may notice, while furnishing Vault 88, that there is no Vault-Tec security armor for your dwellers. We know that security armor was issued to other vaults in the Commonwealth, as guards from Vault 81 can be seen wearing it. Now, you could pickpocket or kill them to get that armor, but it would have the wrong number. I have came up with two alternatives for the Vault-Tec security armor. The first alternative is to use Covenant security armor. Aesthetically, it looks almost exactly the same as the armor from Vault 81, just without any numbers. The armor is worn by security personnel within the compound, which is just across the street from the settlement Covenant. The other alternative involves the Creation Club. In the Creation Club, you can find something called the Vault-Tec armor paint. It goes for 100 points. It is a paint job that can be applied to most armor found in the game, such as leather or combat. I like to apply it to combat armor. I give that to my dwellers. Not only is it stronger, it fits the aesthetic. This is what I prefer to do. People like to equate 100 credits to one whole American or Canadian dollar. That's a lot of money for a paint job. The best part about the Vault-Tec armor paint is that it goes free all the time. Let me show you both of those in order. So you can see that I'm at the Settlement Covenant. Let me show you where it is on the map. Across the street, we can enter the compound.
Outsiders aren't allowed.
I don't have any weapons on me, but this is what it looks like.
The mission must be sure.
This is what the Covenant security armor looks like. It looks almost exactly the same, just it's missing the numbers. The other alternative, like I mentioned, is the paint from the Creation Club. This is what it looks like on leather armor. This is what it looks like on combat armor. Combat armor is the one I prefer and what I give to my dwellers. That's going to be it for this video. I've wanted to make a video like this for over a year. I hate to repeat myself, but if you found the video informative, then don't forget to give it a like. You know, this is a part of the video where most YouTubers would beg for subscribers, but I'm not going to do that, considering I do not plan to make any more guide or Fallout themed content. I love this series, but this, at least for the foreseeable future, is going to be my last Fallout video. Instead, all I ask is that you share the video with whoever you think would benefit from it. After all, I did spend quite a long time on it. Feel free to leave a comment with your thoughts on the video, or if you have any questions about the DLC. I also want to know what your favorite settlement is. I think it's pretty apparent that mine is Vault 88. Thank you ever so much for watching.